Hey lovelies, what's up? Thank you for being here. Welcome to my channel. And this is your pick a card reading for what message do your ancestors in spirit want you to hear right now. This is an important message that's coming through on your journey of growth and expansion and of course exploration. So I will get into the reading, and before I do that I will show you a few crystals which you might feel immediately drawn to one or two of them, and that will be your message. So for pile number one, this is the message. This is the crystal. Pile number two is this black tourmaline. And pile number three is citrine. Oh, sorry. What is this? Orange calcite. Yeah. So, those are the three crystals. Blue, black, orange. You can go by color, whatever feels attractive to you. And we will be moving on to pile number one. So pile number one, the first message that I'm getting from your ancestors is you guys have been through a process of learning to leave your painful past, an ex, anything behind, and kind of move on with your life and follow that calling that you can hear when you're in your own silent presence. And that's calling you to explore something different. And you've learned over the last few years, months especially, how to protect your boundaries, how to be gentle to yourself. Maybe earlier you used to be very harsh on yourself, and that's something that you've learned to kind of release as your life has taught you. Those experiences may not have been nice always, but through this process you've been learning to be a little bit territorial even about your interests. Sometimes that was necessary, otherwise you felt too vulnerable. So the message, or you can say the invitation that your ancestors have for you, they want you to be on this path, that comes from the hummingbird. So you've attracted this card of the hummingbird. Hummingbirds are migratory birds. They are birds which have a beautiful singing voice, and they are asked to follow that innate truth that they possess. So the invitation that you have from your ancestors is the buzzing you feel is the sound of your hummingbird wings, preparing you to say yes to a new adventure. This is not the time to linger on what has gone wrong, but to trust in the rightness of the moment and to take bold actions. So, right now, your ancestors are encouraging you to let go of what the past has been and to move in that new direction that we talked about. So, trust that success is assured, even if you must face tests and challenges to reach your destination. Know that all will be well because the all is in the small. So that's a lovely message. The all is in the small actually brings me back to this idea that in the little ways that you're being called to follow that voice you have, which is asking you to take those small little action steps towards your new journey, testing out your new hummingbird wings. Those small little steps is what will eventually lead you to the big outcome that you've been hoping for. And they're telling me that almost the medicine that you need at this point to your soul, to your spirit, is that stable grounding energy, the presence of your inner divine masculine or yang nature, which feels confident in whichever direction it moves in, irrespective of the currents and the flow of emotions that pass through. as we interact in this human realm and in this world. It's almost like your soul is asking um, to self for that kind of inner stability that can strongly withstand any waves that try to kind of push you off balance. So it's the medicine that your soul is seeking. It's the medicine that you can call on, and your ancestors will gladly provide that medicine for you. That is the medicine of the Shivalingam. The Shivalingam is a stone, like I said, it's a stone of centering you into strongly into reality that is beyond just the earth level, so that when things go haywire or topsy-turvy here, you can maintain your groundedness and you can maintain your inner sense of warrior, peace, and truth. That kind of an alignment with all those three energies, where you are bold enough to take action when necessary. You're aligned with peace, where that's your calling, and you're ultimately always aligned with love. So that's wonderful. And to close it all, we have a channeled message from your ancestors. And that message is nothing stays the same. And these very experiences that have been challenging for you will provide the lesson that will be the foundation of your success and bliss. So, this is a little handwritten note that I channeled from your ancestors, and pile number one, what they're telling me is that you guys might have had a hard time speaking your truth with confidence. So that connects deeply to the crystal that you selected, because this crystal, I'm not sure if it's blue calcite or sodalite. I think it might be sodalite, but in either case, it's speaking towards a certain amount of confusion and not being sure of saying the things you want to say because you're afraid of being proven wrong. You're afraid of saying the wrong thing. You're afraid of your truth not being the truth. And where do I want to go with this? It's saying that there is more confidence that you can have in yourself, and through the journey that you've had, sometimes maybe the difficult experiences made you feel like you can't trust yourself, you can't trust your own truth and voice. And they're saying that as you move through this new stage and find that inner stability in your yang energy, that's the energy of confidence, and that's why I was guided to kind of put a citrine on your pile. It's a crystal for confidence and positivity. You guys, once you bring in that energy of positivity, optimism, which is also connected to the yang or Shiva energy, you'll feel like you're safer in expressing your truth. You'll feel like it's comfortable to do so. Um, so, yeah, also aligning with the fact that nothing will truly stay the same. Maybe you've had a hard time believing that. Maybe you felt like things will always continue the way they have been. And your spirit guides and ancestors are telling me that this may especially be in relationship with love, companionship, service to other people, um, and where you felt misunderstood in these areas. And they're telling me that have more confidence that things will work out well, and your optimism will surely change the outcomes for you. So, pile number one, those are some beautiful messages for you. I hope this helped you and brought you the enlightenment in terms of just some messages that will help guide you. So, if you enjoyed this, leave a like, a subscribe, a comment, and definitely share your experiences in the comment, because it's so interesting for me to know what's happening with you and how this resonates with you. So, definitely be a part of this community, and thank you for being here. Bye. Moving on to pile number two. So, pile number two, you guys have picked this black tourmaline, And with the black tourmaline, we get the message that I get the message strongly that you guys have also, similarly like pile number one, you've been through some stuff, some heavy stuff, and you've been probably on this process for quite some time, and 2 to 3 years, perhaps 1 year. And and the essence that I'm getting is that you guys have been really good at cutting through the bullshit and cutting out the things that don't work for you. And a lot of this is ancestral patterns and patterns around, the energy of standing up strongly for yourself and your beliefs and the people that you believe in and you want to support. So fighting for people and causes that touch you, that mean something to you, that speak to your heart. And in so you've been very brave. They're telling me right away, right off the bat, to tell you that every time you felt like you haven't been brave, you've been really, really brave. So remember that. Don't forget it ever. I know it can be hard for us to always keep our good attributes in mind, especially when things go wrong. But that's what they're telling you, that every bump that you've had along the way, it's increased your courage, and it's also taught you an important lesson of learning when the fighting is not enough or not the right way to go about things. It's almost saying this experience of transmuting whatever you have been, and by transmuting I mean kind of letting go and instead changing that feeling with something else, bringing transformation in your life. um, Somewhere along the way you've learned that sometimes anger that you felt or resentment that you felt was counterproductive. It was holding you back. And of course that's what happens, right, when we don't hold forgiveness. It's something that eats us up, and regardless of what it means to someone else, it's first and foremost an imprisonment of your own heart and your own energy in this box that says, I'm going to hold on to this pain and react from that space. So you guys have been moving through that. You've how can I say this? You've been a lot of the fears that are connected to our lower chakras and the basic instincts and the basic needs of life, like trust, themes of betrayal, themes of addiction. Um, a lot of these issues have been dealt with. Some of you different, it'll be different for different people, perhaps not all for the same person, right? So either way, what we can see here, what I can sense and feel from your reading is that you've been doing the tough work. You've been I don't know how many of you would believe in this, but I feel like a lot of you are letting go of ancestral patterns in your family, of energy that was not helpful, that was not suitable, of energy that was I wouldn't like to use the word dark in a judgmental sense, but heavy. That's the way you can take it. Energy that was not making you feel light, energy in the face of which you had to feel and be brave. So you guys have been through it, the thick of it, and my hat's off to you, because I know it's not easy to do that stuff. So when you're in ancestral pattern clearing mode, lots of shit comes up, and you feel like is it ever going to end? And that's what they're telling me, to remind you that don't think and don't feel like you're on this endless trap of negative patterns and playing out parental trauma. So even if you are not aware of it, in some part this is what's been going on, and the main thing to focus on here is the fact that you're actually releasing it, you're transmuting it, you're detoxing negative energies both inside of you and things that you might be attracting in terms of communication or advice or energy from other people, be it your friends, family, close circles. So you guys, the invitation or the message from your ancestors is that your ancestors in spirit, and this I'm getting even the spirit of your physical ancestors, so family, if you're in touch with them, if you're in contact, the spirit and the souls of those family members, as well as your ancestors in spirit, that's our spiritual ancestors, the ancient ancestors from whom we came, they are all reaching out to you with this invitation for you to reach to the future to help birth a new destiny for Earth. So, yes, you guys are big players when it comes to, through your work, through your pain transmutation, through your energetic contribution in how you evolve, you are directly assisting the earth and earth beings to evolve. So it's a big thing, you guys. Um, that's why I'm feeling very emotional. So it feels like yeah, see, I'm almost getting tears in my eyes. So what I'm getting is a lot of you might have felt frustration about the future and what the future holds for you because it's felt so difficult. Oh my God, look at these. Wow. Anyway, so allow those emotions to flow. That's what I'm getting. I feel like you guys have felt like you've been carrying such a hard burden that you've not been able to express how sad you've been and how difficult it's felt to people, and that's made you feel really restricted because a card of the ancient ones is a number one card, as you can see over here right on top, right? So of course it can be a lonely path when you're on this spiritual awakening journey, but you've been through it and you've been so brave through it all. They want you to remember that, and they're telling you that go ahead and find out who you are becoming 10,000 years from now. If you accept the invitation, great power and blessings will come your way and allow you to craft a new destiny for yourself. So, what this is telling me is, whether you take that literally or not, 10,000 years from now, it's talking about your destiny. It's talking about you being a big player in changing the destiny of people and bringing your own gifts and strength and talent to that task. So, they're saying that you're on this road to discovery because it's a number one card, right? So um, you're at the beginning stages of finding out who you're meant to be here. So let spirit show you that path, and yes, it might come up in the form of big dreams, because it often does when spirit wants us to see who we are meant to be on this life path, in the greater picture of life, in the greater scheme of life, even to the point where we are no longer here and it's only a legacy that we're talking about. And what is the legacy? It's the energy that you've left behind even after you've gone, through the deeds you've done, through the steps you've taken. And the feeling that I'm getting for you guys is that you have large steps to take here, even if you feel like you haven't gotten ahead very much in doing so. You have big steps to take here, and a lot of those steps will be connected to manifestation and creation in this very realm, to support people who felt unsupported. So I'm getting the word survivor for a lot of you. So a lot of you might be drawn to supporting survivors of victims in different situations. It could be domestic abuse, it could be sexual abuse, it could be anything that you feel soul call and soul pull to doing. to align in action with. So you guys, your ancestors have big powerful messages. This is a big strong message coming in of encouragement, and it's saying that, you know, allow yourself to be called by your destiny. And I'm getting chills. I'm literally, my hair standing on end. Where do I even begin? So they're saying do not hesitate to bite off more than you can chew, because you have unlimited spiritual resources available right now. So don't feel like the shit that you're transmuting, excuse my language, is, you know, it's just going to carry on through life. And don't take that beating to your confidence, you know, don't let it kind of take down your optimism. Here, just take some citrine energy. I'm going to um, kind of clear your aura with some citrine, give you that boost of positivity and I am presence power to bring out that diamond-like shine in you. You might feel like your edges are a bit rough. You might feel like you don't have exactly what it takes, and they're telling me to remind you that you have all you need, and all the resources that you need and will ever need will be provided to you, because the ancient one are our ancestors, and they come here to tell us that they're with us to support us no matter what. And the only thing to remember here, and that's the message I was getting with the um, you know, the warrior energy and the transmutation crystal that you selected, black tourmaline. um, if you have pent up emotional anger and frustration with respect to the people who've come before you, your parents, very likely, I'm getting the feeling that it might be elders in the family that you've perhaps felt like you've had to be a survivor in a lot of the situations or behaviors that they put you in. And they're telling me that in order for you to effortlessly move forward and feel brave doing so, it's important that you forgive the ancestors and those who came before. So holding on to resentment, I understand, it's understandable. Human emotions are like that, that sometimes we can feel like we've forgiven someone or we consciously want to forgive, and yet we find it hard. So if you've been on this path and you felt like you've been facing far too many obstacles, then give an ancestral ceremony a chance. You can get in touch with somebody who is good at things like that. I know I have services which really help with energy of that kind. But in any case, even for yourself, um, if you feel called to align with this message, I would say that light a fire, light a candle, and offer, you know, some calming prayers to your ancestors, people who came before you. And as you close your eyes, take a few deep breaths and just hold this feeling and this energy of releasing the frustration and anger that was pent up inside of you into the fire, and let the fire take that. And then for as long as you want, you can keep the fire on and then blow it out. When you blow it out, remember that, you know, that energy has been moved through. So yeah, that's a very simple step to take if you know, don't feel like it's the right time for you to get in touch with somebody to help you in this. But what they're telling me is you have the resources, and a lot of the time spiritual resources also mean spiritual support. So if you find somebody you resonate with who can help you release collective ancestral trauma, that will be a very good option for you guys. And finally, the message that I get for you is this idea of Wherever you felt stuck, there will be movement. That's just a message they wanted me to let you know. And in a lot of cases, it might be a financial thing for a lot of you. You might have felt financially blocked. For some of you, it'll also be love and romance, a very soul deep spiritual connection. For some of you, it might be both actually. So it might be a soul deep connection that is allowing you to transmute this ancestral trauma as well. So it'll be different for different people. Now we will jump straight into this channeled message that I wrote down from your guides and ancestors. And yours is, you are so strong, so brave, so wise. You are a warrior, a survivor. You have gotten through every bump in the road until now, and you will continue to move ahead effortlessly from now on. So, yes, they're telling me that a lot of the hurdles that you faced, you're moving beyond them. And that's because of your strength and bravery. So you have all my respect. Pile number 2, all 3 files actually. And thank you for being here. If you like this video, please remember to like, comment, subscribe to my channel. And when you comment and share your stories, other people, a lot of people can get inspiration from that. And I like learning from your experience and how this resonates with you. So thank you. And if you feel called to share, feel free to share with other people. And of course, if you want to get a personal reading, get in touch with me. So now we'll move on to pile number 3. So pile number 3, you guys have some interesting communication coming through. First of all, I see that you guys, right off the bat, I just got this word betrayed, feeling like, you know, bad things happen to you. A sense like that's what your life and earth experience has been like. And it's been kind of difficult. I do sense that for you guys. You've been doing a lot of healing since perhaps you were a little child. I can feel you guys as very emotional, very receptive and feminine in your energy. I get that sense from you guys. I get that feeling from you guys that you are very a lot of you have great emotional maturity as well. And what they're telling me is that a lot of you, because of your emotional transparency, vibrant nature, even emotionally vibrant nature, a lot of the times you've kind of pulled in thoughts from others that weren't right, for you from the beginning, and you allowed, you know, those thoughts to influence you and your emotional body. So when that happens, what can happen is our heart begins to feel afraid and feel scared, because our emotional authority, our own feelings as children tell us that life is one way, and then we get told another story. And what I'm being told is that your story starts with you, and essentially it also ends with you, right? That's how it happens. Our story begins the moment we're born, and we end alone in that sense. However, there is a deep interconnection with everything we do in our lives and with everyone we interact with. And a part of you very early on knew that, but It might be that you've kind of been challenged in that regard recently, where you felt like you weren't safe in the emotional connections and decisions that you made. And that's what they're telling me, that this is kind of what leads to that feeling of frustration sometimes, which you want to heal right now, and which is the message that's coming through. They want you to heal that, your ancestors. And this idea that you'll see the proof of what your life is meant to be when the timing is right, is going to happen. And what they're telling me right now is that some emotional balancing will really help you see beyond these boundaries of time and space. And what do I mean by that? I mean that you have the ability to connect with your intuition and see things beyond exactly what's happening, beyond just material truth and reality. And part of what's hindering that, you can say, is these false stories that we've all heard and learned about life and ourselves and how much power we have. And what they're saying is that your experiences, that recently you might have feel like you've been cursed, that you have these experiences, those experiences actually have been clearing your road for you to realize just how much power you have. And you might be feeling like you're very bad at manifesting and creating a reality that's good and feels good. But what they're telling me is that that's not the problem. You are a good manifester. Okay, you have a good ability to gauge the emotions of people and situations, and good intuitive responses, especially in relationships. So be it business, work, love, whatever. But what they're telling me is that you are indeed going through this healing, and it's the kind of healing that you need right now, which will be the formula to your success. And that is balancing your inner polarities, feminine, masculine energy. So, what do I mean by that? Each of us has this energy of yin and yang inside of us, irrespective of gender. So, no matter what gender you believe yourself to have, we both have the qualities of man and woman, what is essentially assumed as qualities of man and woman, or masculine and feminine. We have those qualities within us, each person. And part of your experience here is to balance that. Part of the healing that you require right now is to balance that, balance the inner feminine and masculine energy. And this will mean that you're not pushing too much when life doesn't need you to push. And it also means like you're not waiting or holding on to things that don't serve when life is asking you to move with the flow. When life is asking you to just be receptive to the things that are coming to you, then to be able to do that. And when life is asking you to make those bold moves and share your energy with others, then to follow that. So you're learning that balance, which is key in your ability to create effortlessly. Because what I'm seeing is that sometimes your emotional attachment or your mental need uh, for an outcome to come true is what's been holding back the results from coming for you. So once you balance this masculine, feminine energy inside, and there are ways you can do it yourself, um, you know, intuitive ways in which you feel guided to. And if you feel guided to get in touch with somebody who can help you with something like this, like for example, I know I have services which help in aligning the inner divine masculine and feminine, then that will be the right path for you. Because like they're telling me, already your ability to create is there. It's only that you need to learn energetic balance and harmony within yourself, and also leave some of the mental stories that you've kind of had as inner programming, which we all do. So I'm going to jump into the invitation or the guidance call or message from your ancestors. So the invitation from your ancestors is: it is time to recognize the source of your limitations. Did your grandparents live with a mindset of scarcity? Did you inherit genes for any kind of ill health or ideas that ill health and unwellness would run in the family? Were you someone who had difficult past life experiences? Now, some of you might not believe in past life experiences, and that's personally your preference. But some of you might be carrying on some past life emotional trauma that you're having to kind of move through in this life. This karmic legacy or this karmic ancestry, and what do we mean by karmic, is just, actions taken and beliefs held which reside in us in the form of energy. Like, how does it happen? Let's say your grandparents have been saying some things and your parents grew up watching them say and believe those things, and they have passed them on to you. Now, a lot of these things are unconscious, and a lot of these things can create real life heart, you know, um, real life roadblocks for us. And I heard the word heart, I got the word heart. So for some of you, it might even lead to heartache or illness or beliefs or fears of illness, heart disease. I'm getting that word. So what they're saying is this legacy is ready and waiting to be seen, to be untangled, and to be released forever. And once we release it, it does not continue down the bloodline. So they're saying honor the players and their stories. So whatever has played out in your personal ancestry and heritage, they're saying that bring honor to them, respect them. It can be hard to get lost in resent. It can be hard to, focus on the positive energy when we get lost in resentment. But they're saying that honor the stories that have been carried on in your ancestry. Listen to those stories. See and check which parts don't resonate with you, what you want, what you really know yourself, to feel true to you, and reject the things that don't work for you. I feel like you guys would do well from some healing, be it chakra healing, be it ancestral healing, um, be it energy polarity healing. So, you guys, they're saying forgive everyone and everything, craft a new life for yourself. So you guys are in the stage of rebuilding, almost having a rebuild of your life, and you might have recently felt like you've had to restart and rebuild. And they're telling you that whatever call you've made for yourself recently is the right choice that you've made. Don't feel scared by the changes that are coming along because of this choice. um, and also surrender any attachment that you have to a result, to getting a result. And if you have an attachment to getting a result, perhaps it's time to kind of reflect and ask yourself why you have those attachments. And like they said, dig deeper into those stories. And as always, if you need help, guidance, private reading session to help you uncover and unblock, because these are some heavier energies, right? And I understand that personally, having been through my experience, that sometimes getting help from somebody you resonate with can be the best thing for you at that time. So, anyway, I hope these messages supported you and brought you some light on your path. You have all my love, encouragement. Thank you for being here. Leave a like, comment, share this video, and subscribe to this channel. Help this community grow. And thank you so much for being here. I had a great time being here. Bye.